sometimes when you find a thin ribbon of dirt heading off toward the unknown, you just have to climb on your dirt bike and see where it goes. And today on At Your Leisure, that's exactly what we're doing. Join Chad and me as we hit a single track trail that is deceptively close to your backyard.
Then you'll want to get your passport ready and follow me, Zack, as I take you on a Far East adventure that is every bit about the food as it is about the exploration.
Finally, we'll see what happens when you shrink a rock crawler. Own the outdoors with At Your Leisure.
You know, Darren, you and I both have some reputation to lose today.
Well, as long as it's just reputation and not skin or bone.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure today. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Darren Kinder, and we're out here in Tooele County, and we're going to go do a little single track riding today.
That's right. I'm a little rusty on the single track skills. My last single track I actually gave to him, and then he gave it away. and so
we're just doing the community a favor by getting us both off the trail.
So we don't totally obliterate ourselves out here, getting back on single track. We actually have some coaches and guides. It's the Steadman boys. It's David and Brandon from Steadman's. They're out here in Tooele. This is their back country. They're going to help us get through it today.
Yeah, there's probably no rock out here they haven't turned over. So
we're falling on.
Yeah, and hopefully they have the speed dial to EMS.
Yeah. Anyway, I think they're the ones who can tell you best about this trail.
We're in Davenport Canyon right now. We've got the Stansbury Front Trail right behind us. The most northern point is behind the Walmart Distribution Center in Grantsville. So you could come up the road and head it there, go all the way south to Rush Valley Clover area. It is all single track, so it's motorcycle only, but so much recreation out here. We have the desert, we have the mountains. I've grown up, ride single track all my life. You know, I remember coming out here with Bruce and Nolan. I was in junior high and I had my motorcycle on the top of Deseret Peak. There's a very good map that Tooele County has made up. It does all of Tooele County. There's some hiking trails on it that aren't accessible by motorcycles. There's some ATV trails on it, single track trails on it, and some horse stuff too. Very good map of Tooele County. You got the Stansburys over here, the Ochre Mountains over there. Lots of good maps. You come out and see us at Steadman's. We can get you a map there at Steadman's. You can get it online, or Tooele County, I'm sure you can go up to the county and get it too. The magic of single track to me is I love to ride a dirt bike. I'd much rather sit on a dirt bike than sit in a side-by-side or an ATV. You don't have a big road, you're cutting through the trees, nice and tight. It's gorgeous. Sometimes I wish my wife would get on the back and just go once just to show it to her, but that'll never happen. So yeah, single track's awesome because you're in the tight trees and switchbacks, some challenging stuff sometimes, you know, but it's a lot of fun, you know. It's always fun to get the challenging stuff and see who makes it and who doesn't. It's always glory to go back and help the other guys.
You know, this Stansbury Front Trail is absolutely a blast because, you know, what makes it a little bit different is that you're in the trees and you're smelling the pines and all of that stuff, and it really is a lot of fun. And every time I come out to Tooele, I seem to find something else to come out here and do that I can't believe how beautiful this trail is. Well, right now we need to get to our travel adventure, and Zach has got something a little different for you to see.
Guys, hello, I'm over here. Hello, hey, whew. It's like a crazy Where's Waldo out here. Hey guys, Zach with your travel adventure today. Thanks for joining us. Now, I'm just a little bit east of Salt Lake City. A little bit more than that. More east than that. Keep going, ah, right, I'm in Tokyo. And you might be wondering, Zach, what are you doing all the way out in Tokyo? I'm here to eat. On At Your Leisure, we're always looking for adventure. Well, here in Tokyo, finding good food can be an adventure all its own, and, as we found, a great way to explore the city. But considering how everything here is in, well, Japanese, it can be easy for a gaijin or outsider like myself to get lost, especially when it comes to finding a place to eat. That is where Arigato Japan Food Tours comes in.
Arigato Japan Food Tours offers culinary adventures all over Japan. We have them in areas such as Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. At the moment, we have about 14 tours.
A lot of the Japanese menus are in Japanese, and sometimes people fall into something more comfortable that they may see, maybe a hamburger. But when you're with a guided tour, you have that sense of comfort to try something a little bit more adventurous.
Joining a food tour at the beginning of your trip here is actually encouraged, because on the tour we not only explain to you the etiquette, the history, or if there's anything special about that food, but also how to get you comfortable on your next food adventure.
So our first stop here is at a standing sushi bar, and I'm told that I'm in for some adventure. Okay.
And indeed, each stop we came to, there was adventure to be had. Starting off, we had an impressive sampling of sushi, but my favorite was probably the seared salmon with just a little bit of mayo. Oh, and firefly squid wasn't too bad, but I'm not exactly jonesing to try it again. And then there's natto.
I've lived 21 years in Japan, and it's very hard for me to eat it. It's sticky, yeah, we will see if Zack likes it.
Spoiler alert, he did not like it. He did not like it at all. But he was a pretty big fan of what was next: Kobe beef and a traditional bowl of ramen. There's a specific care that the chefs put into preparing the food, as if each dish or piece of meat is meant to have a flavor you will always remember.
Oh yeah.
In the quiet of the ramen shop, our conversation is immediately put to the wayside as our dish is served. Typically, eating your ramen in silence and slurping the noodles shows your appreciation of the meal to those who prepared it. But you've all heard of sushi, ramen, and Kobe beef, so here's something completely different.
Okonomiyaki is just like a Japanese savory pancake, but it's very different. It's not IHOP pancake. This is a regional food from Hiroshima. The word okonomi in Japanese means anything you like. Yaki means grill. So it literally means grill anything you like.
Itadakimasu. Okonomiyaki. I think that is a really safe bet for anyone who's afraid to try Japanese food. It was delicious, a lot of different flavors, but nothing that's going to freak you out like, say, oh, I don't know, a bunch of baby squid on rice.
For dessert, we treated ourselves to taiyaki, a sweet batter filled with custard or red bean paste. It's actually pretty good.
I also have soy milk in there though. You see a nice little cross section?
There's so much more to Japanese food than the sushi. If you really miss out on these opportunities, it's kind of sad, because like the food in Japan is probably the best in the world, in my opinion.
Japan immediately grabbed my attention with its amazing architecture, respectful crowds, and bright city lights. But what truly connected me to this country was the food. And that's true no matter where you travel. It was the care with which the food was prepared that made a gaijin like me feel at home. So the next time you travel, try to find a food tour as great as Arigato Japan Food Tours. Arigato to Ann and Matt, and arigato to Japan. More at your leisure is coming up next.
The time to buy is now. It's the Ray City RV Show parking lot sale. Join them this May 17th through the 24th for the best deals of the year. Over $31,000 off select models. Don't miss the sale. It's the Ray City RV Show parking lot sale.
There's a little place on a Utah map where I was raised, where my heart's at, where the sagebrush grows wild and high, and the stars come out at night. Oh, there ain't nothing like being raised in the basin with a Ute reservation, skiing starvation, that Duchesne County life.
They're here. Ranger XP 1000, the most powerful Ranger ever. General 4, the off-road's most popular new crossover. And Ride Command, connecting you like never before. See the best of 2017. Or grab a great deal on remaining 2016s. Get rebates up to $3,000 during the Polaris factory authorized clearance.
Welcome to Castle Country, a land as diverse as its people, and a rural area that relies on responsible use of the land. Here, you will find adventure at every turn. From mountain peaks to sun-swept deserts, Castle Country has it all.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Darren Kinder, and today I've got a real treat for you. We've got a head-to-head. Now, we've got the Polaris General 4-seat, and we've got the Can-Am XT 1000, and these machines couldn't be any closer if they tried. It's like they've got spies in one another's factory trying to figure it out, because physically they are the exact same size. They're 62 inches wide, they're 150 inches long, they both are 1000s, they're both 4 seats, but you know, there are some small differences between them, and we'll kind of show you that. First of all, it's the ground clearance. Polaris barely edges out the Can-Am on that. It has an inch more of ground clearance. It has 12 inches of ground clearance compared to the 11 of the Can-Am. They have the same tire size, the same basic front suspension, but the Can-Am does use a trailing arm type suspension, which I think is a little bit better than the Polaris. Now, when we look at some of the other creature comforts inside, that's where I think the Polaris starts to shine. First of all, the cup holders, the cubbies, and that are a little bit better laid out than they are on the Can-Am. On the Polaris, the push bar is a little bit shorter, but it does have light bar tabs on it. Now the Can-Am's is longer, wraps all the way around each side of the fender, so it kind of protects the bodywork a little bit more. So it kind of depends on the system that you like best. Now, one area that I think the Can-Am has an advantage over the Polaris, and that is the bed of the machine, because it has the 2-layer bed on it, so you got able to put stuff underneath and stuff on top, and it has a lot of tie downs. I really like the bed on the Can-Am. Now, the Can-Am does have a lot of technology that the Polaris doesn't. It has the Eco and Sport modes. You can change the power steering modes. You have different keys for different horsepower ratings. I mean, they've got a lot going on in this motor. Now, one of the things that I like about the General a little bit better are doors. One thing I do not like are nets. And now you can get the Can-Am, they do offer a door package for it. Of course, it's gonna be more money. Now, the Polaris is $1,000 more if you look at their retail prices. So by the time you add doors to this, they're probably exactly the same price. Now, these machines, like I said in the beginning, are extremely close. They're just little quirks about one or the other that you may like or dislike. So get into your local dealer and check them out. I'm Darren Kinder, we'll see you next time.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. There's a Polaris to match your passion. Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Razor leads the way. With unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Perfectly combined to chase what matters. Lifelong memories with friends and family.
In a place that is beyond words, there is nothing to be said, except take your time in Bryce Canyon Country.
For unbeatable side-by-side performance, Yamaha offers 2 choices. The groundbreaking YXZ 1000R with 5-speed manual transmission, and the new YXZ 1000R Sport Shift with automatic clutch and paddle shifters. Perfect for conquering tight technical terrain. For superior side-by-side performance, the choice is easy. Yamaha. Now get up to $3,000 customer cash, plus as low as 0% financing.
Look south to adventure. Look south to beauty. Look south to San Juan County. Out here, the road goes on forever, and what you'll find will change how you see the world. Climb on your OHV and discover forgotten landscapes and vistas that challenge the imagination. From Blanding and Monticello to the cliff faces of Monument Valley, we're open and ready for you to explore. San Juan County, Utah's Canyon Country.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm here with the Steadmans, and we're out here in Tooele County, which is your guys' backyard. Is there any rock out here you haven't turned over, Dave?
You know, there's a few of them that weren't on the trail, but you know, most of the ones on the trail have all been rolled over a few times. You notice they're all round?
Yeah, I know.
Because they've been tumbled like the river.
I about got myself tumbled a few times on that.
Well, you know, we always know where them spots are, so we always stop to watch to see. But you did real good. I didn't see the grips in the ground. Tires stayed on the ground.
I
did real good.
Keep the rubber down. You know, that's what they say. But it's been a lot of fun, Brandon. You've been kind of coaching me along, getting me through the hard parts, so I appreciate that. And you know, there is a lot of things to do out here, isn't there?
Oh man, Tooele County's got all kinds of things to do: off-road, dirt bike, ATV, UTVs. You know, we are on single track today, but there's a lot of other options and a lot of other areas to ride a dirt bike also.
That's awesome. Well, let's take a look at a few of those other places.
I think it's just such a great place because it's not quite as big as Salt Lake, so you can just take up off the hills and just go right anywhere basically. There's another fun single track up Middle Canyon. It's called White Pine Loop. It's actually a loop. You'll go up by Butterfield Canyon and the trailhead starts about there. And it'll take you kind of in the foothills of the Rocky Basin, whatever over there. There's easy parts to it that I can play around with, go fast, and there's also technical places that to this day, I still crash on myself, so it challenges me as a rider. I enjoy viewing the scenery just so I know the area. And there's also, it's not single track, but over by Jacob City, Stockton area, there's a lot of dirt bike stuff you can do over there too, which you can also do on a side-by-side or an ATV as well. In dirt biking, you have a lot of your track people and you have your trail people as well. So Deseret Peak is kind of basically the Tooele County Fairgrounds now, and so they have all sorts of activities going on, plus the motocross track. But what's cool about the track down there is it's groomed every day that it's open, so it's a good track and it accommodates to all levels of riders. When Tooele County got the funding, we actually built the motocross track down there, and over the years, we as Steadmans and Tooele County have been improving the track to accommodate for better conditions and a better experience for all the riders. Single track, you kind of got to pay more attention what you're doing. It's a little more technical in some places because you don't have as much as give area. Single track, you got this much you're on, versus an ATV trail, you got 50, 60 inches, you got some leeway if you make a mistake. People shouldn't be scared because yes, you do feel more stable on a four-wheeler. Dirt bike, I feel you respect a little more. Once you get the feel and comfortable with it, you can begin to push your limits and feel it out in a different way.
As you can see, there are lots of options when it comes to dirt bikes and motorized recreation in Tooele County. And it goes from north-south to east and west everywhere. Well, right now it's time for us to turn our attention to our trailhead adventure, brought to you each week by RockyMountainATVMC.com. And this week we are going to discover how technology can take a big problem of rock crawlers and how expensive they are and get you into the sport in a much smaller way.
It takes a big machine to conquer rocks like these, something forceful and strong that's larger than life. Or maybe not. Oftentimes, we think that when it comes to rock crawlers, size is everything. But one growing sport challenges that preconception by taking the thrills of off-road adventure and shrinking them. It's Recon G6, and it's become a worldwide phenomenon.
We basically take a one-to-one trail run and we scale it down 10th scale. So with trail markers, we mark the route. Our drivers that we call G6ers, they drive the route. The trail markers are numbered. It's not a competition. It's an adventure.
I love it. It's a passion. I mean, I was always a technique freak, but when I found out that you can actually crawl, rock crawl with those little things, it got really interesting. It's not just going in front, left, right, back. No, you really can crawl like the big ones. And if you do already love the one-on-one crawling scene and off-road cars, this is perfect for you.
We all loved remote control cars as kids, but once adulthood set in, most of us left that passion behind. Not men like Brian Parker. For them, the challenge of rock crawling and extreme trail running didn't end with their full-sized rigs. Once they introduced their RCA vehicles into the environment, suddenly they had a new way to experience the outdoors and perform extreme stunts, all without the expensive damage that goes hand in hand with toppling down a cliff face. Brian founded the Recon G6 event series in 2009 as a chance for like-minded sportsmen to get together and challenge each other in some of the most impressive environments on Earth. During their competitions, the rules are similar to what you'd find at any rock crawling event, including when the rigs roll down a hill, you can't just walk over and pick it up. You need to get help from your miniaturized colleagues. While the scale may be smaller, the care put into these machines is every bit as impressive as their full-size counterparts. Buying a remote control vehicle is easy. You can do it at any local hobby shop. But from there, the sky is the limit to how you customize and tweak your crawler.
Of course, you don't leave it stock always. You start putting on better shocks, different kind of steering.
You have worn winch that has little 10-scale winches. It just goes on and on and on.
The appeal of remote control off-roading goes beyond the standard backcountry explorers. For Joy Weschelberger, a coffee roaster from Austria, seeing these rigs in action in her hometown was enough to set her on a new path.
I got into a club in Vienna, and the next Recon G6 I had to participate, and the next, and the next, and the next, and I think this now is my 14th one. We have Recon G6s now all over the world. We have it not only overall in the US, we have it in Europe. We just made a G6 in China. There will be Australia next year.
Size doesn't matter in the outdoors. Recon G6 sportsmen are the most extreme example of that fact, as they spin their tires with as much dedication and skill as the big boys. Plus, remote control vehicles open up possibilities for people who never thought they'd be able to rock crawl, either because of circumstance or geography.
Even on an everyday basis in the city, you do some urban rock crawling, you always find some park somewhere. And every time we crawl, we find some people that are like, what? Really? This works? Can I try?
What it means to me is that moms, dads, sons, daughters, families can come out and make memories in a beautiful environment. We're all outdoor-minded people, and what I like about it is seeing the creativity, the individualism. It's just like the one-to-one world where your Jeep is just an extension of your personality. Well, for our drivers, their tiny truck is just another extension of their personality. Or maybe it's their dream rig they've always wanted to build.
And it all started at a hobby shop with a remote control car. The world of outdoor adventure just got a lot bigger. From the tiny trailhead, I'm Malia Stringham.
Beautiful scene, isn't it? The great wide spaces of the wild, wild west. Hi, I'm Chad Booth, host of At Your Leisure. I'm asking you to support the Blue Ribbon Coalition. Their efforts responsibly preserve access to our public lands. If it were not for the Blue Ribbon Coalition and their efforts, you may not have access to millions of acres of land across the West. This is America's playground, and if we don't do anything, we are going to lose it. Join, participate, and donate.
Run faster, pull harder, and leave everyone else behind with an impressive 154 horsepower combined with 113 foot-pounds of tire-spinning torque. The Maverick X3 absolutely rockets off the line, going from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. All thanks to a turbocharged and intercooled Rotax ACE engine. So get ready to wait for everyone else to catch up.
The time to buy is now. It's the Ray City RV Show parking lot sale. Join them this May 17th through the 24th for the best deals of the year. Over $31,000 off select models. Don't miss the sale. It's the Ray City RV Show parking lot sale.
Well, welcome back to At Your Leisure. We've had a great time with the Steadmans today, and we've been out here on the Stansbury Front Trail all day, and even Chad survived it. So we did excellent today and had a good time.
Yeah, well, thanks for trading. I felt much better on your bike. So, yeah, it has been a lot of fun. But we've got a whole bunch of stuff to get to. We got a whole bunch of unfinished business.
There's so many fun things to do in the month of May.
Oh, I know.
And so you can go from one thing to the next.
I know. Here's my first bit of unfinished business. Oh.
Dude, I let him borrow my bike, and that's how he treats me.
So, the first thing we want to talk about is that we've got the ATV Fun Run, and that's coming up on the 19th through the 21st down in Kanab, Utah. It's a great chance to get down there. There's a cleanup project going on before. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the cleanup's on Friday, and then the ride's on Saturday, so you can get double the chance to come out and have a good time.
That's true.
And then the next thing coming up is the Old School Rock Crawl on May 26th and 27th down in Delta, Utah. And that's kind of another unique thing, because it's not like going out in the environment. They built something right at the fairgrounds to go out and thrash your machine. Really unique challenges. Maybe we'll have to use the remote control for that one.
That's true. Then right after that, we have yet another event going on the 31st and the 1st of June.
Yep, out in Vernal, Utah.
It's the Outlaw ATV Jamboree.
Yep, and the same thing. We're going to have a cleanup day on Wednesday, and then on Thursday the rides began, and that actually goes for 3 days.
Okay, well, let's clean up the rest of the details. What do we got going for contest winner?
Well, this week's contest winner was picked out down at the Bronco Safari down in Moab, and it's the Beast, and it's one bad-looking Bronco with an AYL sticker.
Well, congratulations. You actually are going to win. If you call us, of course, you got to call us. You're going to win a 4-pack to go down to Fast Karts and do some fast kart racing.
A little go-kart racing never hurt anyone.
No, not in the least. Well, I think that's a full agenda. Right now, I think we should look at next week's show.
The road less traveled is less traveled for a reason. But next week, I want you to come with me, Stephen Human, as I discover what is at the end of that lonely path. I set out from Blanding, Utah, and discover a world you'll want to visit. From there, Chad and Rhea will be exploring one Utah lake with more recreation options than you probably knew. It's all here in 7 days.
Well, next week's show looks as much fun as we had today. It's going to be a great time.
Oh, it sure is. You know, this is a place you really need to come out and explore. So if you're at all inclined for motorized sports, dirt bikes or anything like that, you need to come out to Tooele County.
You know what's amazing to me is you never think about how beautiful and how close these mountains are to Tooele.
That's true, and you know, it's not sagebrush and salt up here.
No.
It's beautiful green.
Gorgeous, man. It looks like you're in the Alps.
So, like we say every single week, and it's true this week too, there is adventure around every single bend.
But you got to get out and create your own adventure
at your leisure. All right, now, it's not leisure time, it's work time.
Load it up.
We got to strap this thing down. There is adventure around every single bend. And it's up to Darren to go out and discover it at your leisure.
I'm like, where's he going with that one?
All right,